Blessed be, y'all. This is Jen Freemind. How you be? I'm going to talk a little bit about working with the gods today. I don't even like to use that term anymore. I prefer the term deity, or spirits, something like that. To me, many entities have been put onto a pedestal. I would say that many of these things are thought forms that have been constructed by men. They never did exist. I think some of them were beings at one time, and they have ascended. They have gone beyond the physical realm. But I think many of them are constructs of humans that have put energy into a form that they can use. This will probably get me into trouble, but I would say an example of that is the Christian God. In the way that Christians think of this God, He is everything. He created everything. He's the man with the beard. Definitely male. But I always ask when I was to myself, if He was male, how could He create female? Because we are created in God's image, so God would have to be a hermaphrodite. Or I guess a more accurate term would be gender neutral. I don't even know the term there. But to me, this has been a thought form that's been constructed by men to be something to serve them, to use as a control system. I know this will piss off a lot of people by saying that, but that's just the way I think about it. I do think that the teachings of Jesus are a valid path. Don't get me wrong. I subscribe to the thing of, God, please save me from your followers. I just have to laugh at that, man, because that's the way it is a lot of times. I mean, the place that I live in here, there's people going around putting graffiti on stuff that says rise, and it's Christian graffiti trying to scare people. And I'm like, what? You know, if your God was so good and all that sort of stuff, why do you have to spread fear? It just doesn't make sense. It never did make sense to me why people should fear God. I've heard, logical explanations of, well, He's all powerful, but He's also just, and all this sort of stuff. Give me a break. I talk about this because this is the background that I came from. At one time, I pretty much believed that, and I thought I'd go to hell if I didn't believe in Jesus was going to save me and all that sort of stuff. And I still study the teachings of Jesus. I don't study the Bible per se, because there's a lot of writings on the teachings of Jesus that are outside of that. And the Bible has been skewed to a certain audience for a certain reason. That reason being to control people. And that's not to say that there aren't nuggets of gold in that text. And I would not tell anybody to not read it. When you get into Kabbalistic studies, they tell you that there are multiple levels of meaning. There's what the words literally say. There's what the words don't say. There's what the words infer. There is what is in between the lines, so to speak. There's also what the numbers of the words mean. There's many, many different levels of the way to interpret these things. But in Christianity and Western thought, we have been taught that there's only one way. There's one truth, there's one God, there's one way. And if you don't believe the way we want you to believe, you're going to hell, or we're going to cut your head off, or whatever. And that's just not the truth. And when you start thinking on multiple levels and being able to see the truth in contradictory things that you find, and you can see the truth at the same time in both statements, even though they contradict each other, that's when you start to be able to free your mind of what Western thought has done to it. I have recently kind of gotten down on the concept of Western thought is the be-all to end-all. I don't think Eastern thought is to be the be-all to end-all either. In a lot of ways, that is a control system that they have put in place for their use, but to me it's a little bit freer control system and a little bit better. I'm going to say better, not perfect. I don't think there is a perfect system that man can make up. I've gone on a little bit longer than I have in the other videos, so I think I'm going to sign off for the moment. I'll have another video up in a while. And thanks for watching. This is Gen Free Mind. Go read a book!